Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is so good to be back here in the studio. We have, of course, as always, Matt, Trix Miser, Aarons, me, Jesse, Almost Kirby, here with you in another presentation from Smart Play. We have NoLove Esports at home on the map that they love, the map that they choose, D Mirage tonight, yet another expected head-on-head scoreline in ESEA IM, the first map of the season. We're finally back in action, and we have a lot of changes to talk about tonight. Matt, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm excited. It seems like it's been so long since we saw this team in playoffs a couple of months ago. As you said, we got some roster changes on the NoLove side that may have been slightly unexpected to some degree, but I'm excited to see what this new lineup has for us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we might as well get right into it, right? I mean, of course, as always, the home team in NoLove tonight. We always expect Adams, the Bear Boys, Boucher. We do have Nat Dyer continuing with us as well, and Patrick, one Pat Stark tonight. But what you may not know is we have two new additions. We have Dave Dwizzy Wisniewski, and we have Liam Hardfluff T. Now, this is our starting five for the future. There may be some future changes in this roster lineup. We're not quite sure. We're hoping this is obviously going to be concrete for the entire season, but we're not stopping with Mirage. Tonight, they do have a matchup versus a team called Bloomi. We're going to get to that lineup here in just one quick second. Matt, what can you expect from Dwizzy and Hardfluff tonight?
So I don't know exactly what to expect. Obviously, they're replacing Messi and Nitsu. Maybe not the easiest task, especially when you're talking about Messi and how powerful he was for NoLove. But looking back at their history, Dwizzy, he's been a part of ESEA for 2010. He's only been competing since season 32. One full season in IM in season 34, where he had 74.3 average damage per round and 0.69 frags per round. Hardfluff been around ESEA since 2015, competed since season 28. A lot of intermediate experience. There is some main experience in there. Looking at his career league numbers, 76.33 ADR, 0.69 FPR. When you stack that up against Messi and Nitsu, Messi last season had 93.51 average damage per round with a 0.8 frags per round. That is a huge spot to fill. We know Pat and what he's able to do on the server, losing Messi as the second in command of those frags and all that damage. It's going to be interesting to see what we get out of those two. We'll
see what happens. On the Bloomi side tonight, we do have Brad, Tulip, Mueller, which we'll call Pilot, Static, Stance, Gav. We've got a couple people that are no-named. We've got Hebe, and we've got Shuda, both without their names being public, and Chris Flair Hare. So that's your starting five tonight that we're expecting from Bloomi. NoLove on the Terrace side. This is actually what I wanted to watch the most. Again, being the question mark with the IGL stance. What are they doing tonight? How is this going to look? How is it going to present?
You might get a straight A execute, 2 smokes, 2 flashes, a couple decoys, and everybody headed that way. I don't mind the play because usually CTs give A up and play retake. So let's see how they handle post plant.
Good flash positioning already coming from Hardfluff. It's going to pop a flash over the top of the A ramp. It's going to allow his team to go up into the A ramp area. There's only one player sitting CT side. That's Flair. He's got no smoke in front of him, but he's going to defer to give the side up. Pilot, however, will find Bears Boys looking for a second. Nat trying to get the trade. Can't quite make the trade happen. One tries to come in the window. Finds him, gets the second. That's Pilot out of the round. That's a very beautiful double from Nat. One more player waiting on the other side of that wall, and he'll find him as well. That's a 3K. Last man standing. It's Flair. Finds the tip of the head for Pat. Looking for another headshot. Hardfluff going to duck just below that. Nat with good team flash support. And Flair will not find the headshot and not find the clutch. Nat with the 4K on the round, starting off very strong on the T side.
Beautiful round from that there. I'm a little confused. I'm not sure where the smokes ended up. There
Me
was
neither.
2 smokes that were used. I didn't see a single one. So it made it a little bit scary. You know, CTs get the first pick from jungle. Nat is able to swing, trade 2, gets the third guy crawling through vent, picks up the last kill. Beautiful round from him. A little interesting on the miscue on the smokes though.
One player inside B by himself right now. That's Shuda. He's going to throw a good grenade, do a little bit of damage, but the FAMAS at close range is not going to be enough. B is wide open. The SMG has lost his life. One player at Catwalk will lose his wife as well. That's Dizzy now with 2 kills. The 3 versus 4. CT's trying to come from both different ways up Cat. Hebe will find Pat. Oh, they find a second on a Nat as well. Dwizzy's going to have a big round. Finds a third, looking for a fourth. He'll find it on Cat. Looking for the ace, coming through the smoke on the bomb site. He's rotating around at the perfect angle. And he will find the ace. Dwizzy making his name known. Here I am. Forget the stats of the past. I'm here to stay with the 5K on a very important T-side gun round.
Let's go. Absolutely beautiful. Purple hearts in the chat. Dwizzy, first game, first gun round, ace. Absolutely beautiful entries, and he doesn't stop there. He continues to put himself in the correct position to get the picks. You called out the utility usage, something that we didn't see last season. Everybody throwing utility, causing the CTs to rotate, use theirs. Beautiful execution on that play. Now, economy, if you're not familiar with Counter-Strike, is extremely important. Almost as important as the kills and the rounds that you win, and the ebb and flow of that dictates how well you can execute your game plan on either side of the server.
This is rough. Those ops coming into key already. 2 kills from Pilot. Gonna dictate the round big time. Middle is now completely owned by the CT side, by the Deagle. Couldn't quite figure out what my English was trying to go with there, but they're gonna completely rotate around to B, and Stance is gonna be the only one there waiting right now. Deagle in hand. The call is made. CT is starting to rotate. The burn on their own teammate's foot. Bears boys gets caught off guard. Pilot also there to get 2 of his own. Incredible shots coming from the catwalk. Nat with the AWP going to drop down into sight. There's another player on the other corner. Oh, this is dangerous. Nat is in a very difficult situation. And the Deagles will be enough for the rotation. Pilot just coming up huge from catwalk there.
Yeah, a couple beautiful 1Ds, right? It looked so good for NoLove. There was only one person on B. They chose the right site. I was going to praise them on the fact that they just didn't rush for a plant. They tried to swarm the site, make sure it was completely clear before they do anything. And then Pilot comes in and says, no, thank you. Beautiful 2K. Ended up being a 3 at the end when he cleans up Nat. But, you know, luckily NoLove's right back at it with a buy.
Interesting. Pilot actually caught that smoke while jumping the catwalk. It's going to enable him to get some kills here. But thankfully, the Tech 9's getting up in his face incredibly fast. Nat gets the trade. But they're coming up this catwalk. Shuda and one other are inside that B bomb site. It's going to be very difficult for pistols to do the damage here. AK and Galil's now left standing with Pat and Hard Fluff. But the CTs are everywhere. The flashes are effective. Hard Fluff going to be last man standing. 1v3 now. After he gets a kill of his own, tries to jump to catwalk and fails. One player inside A actually watches him rotate around. And he's completely moved around as well. The difficult thing here is Stance is throwing the smoke that's right in front of Fluff, which gives him the advantage. But Stance is not going to risk it either. He's going to fall back to the bomb site. All 3 CTs playing this incredibly calm, collective, and as a unit, making sure that they're not going to give any kills over to Hard Fluff if they can help avoid it. He's been making some serious shots tonight. He's going to have to make some really crucial ones here if he wants to be the winner. Comes out to get right, gets the first one. The trades are trying to be there, and the trades will be there. Shuda and the other will successfully swing. Earlier, Matt, I was going to talk about how, you know, when we looked at the stats at NoLove, I think when we looked at Nitsu's flash percentage, it was definitely above and beyond everybody else's, and it would be like something around 60% flash efficiency consistently. And you can tell that now, as a team, they're executing that well, much better together.
Yeah, that's a really good shout out, and I'm just going to continue talking because this is going to be an eco for NoLove, and unless something crazy happens, it's going to be par for the course. Pilot's going to get to eat a little bit. But you're right, Nitsu was huge with his flash utility and helping his teammates in being in advantageous fights. But you're right, now we're seeing it from the entire team. Nat, Pat, Bears, all buying into this as well, throwing good utility for each other. It's something that I would assume Dwizzy and Hardfluff have really been focusing on in the practice during this offseason.
Oh my gosh. That grenade going to be just short. Shoota's going to have a molly in hands. Only one person currently actually in B, but they're coming quickly around behind them. The Deagle is going to have to be big. Bears finds 2 quickly. That'll be huge. One fast on the flank, but the Glock is there and waiting, and that will close out Hebe. It's a 4v2, just like that. FAMAS and M4 in play. Bears just opting to keep the Deagle. Why not? It's hot. Pat proving itself as well. Pilot eliminated. That's the biggest player right there you want to get rid of. Flare looking for something. One player gets aggressive. Finds 2. And all of a sudden, it's a 2v1. The time is not on his side. He's got a kit in hand. Pat being efficient. There it is. That'll close it out. 9-5. One more round left in the half.
Let's go, boys. Where's my Bears boys in chat, huh? That was absolutely beautiful from him. Unbelievable 2 entries, right? He dodges the flash at get right, hits the 1D, turns around, and just slaps the guy in the face on sight. Absolutely beautiful. Nat able to secure the flank with just a Glock. I mean, that's a picture perfect eco round that you never expect to get.
Planning on opping, right? So he's like, okay, you guys can buy up, but I'm saving. But yeah, very surprising from the entire CT team. And I like the default style slow approach from Bloomi here. Making sure they're giving themselves lots of stretch room, but the CTs having no presence on A puts them in a very difficult situation. They might even full save here. They might not even I mean, if I'm NoLove and I invested this heavily, I'm backing this up right now and saving our guns. You've got no way you're retaking this bomb site right now versus rifles. You need to get out, save your armor, save your SMGs, bring them into the next round, and do something with that.
I had no kits, but it looks like they're going for it through connector. Here we go.
Yeah, yikes. Yeah, that's over quickly. Maybe had some false bravado there, maybe just some machismo, you know, causing that to not go with the fall off option. But all 5 players coming from the same direction with a post plant situation, you've got to be thinking save there.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, you know, I'm a pretty optimistic person. That was way more optimistic than I think I've ever felt in my entire life.
But also a very well-known position. The flash going to help him go through. Hebe, stance of their own, going to get a kill, and Hard Fluff will get the trade. He's going to be last man standing. Again, 1v3. Bomb going late to B. This is an interesting call. 1 CT to hold the rotation. 2 to go safely to B. They know exactly where Fluff is located. Fluff right now, if he could get a read on it, could drop underpass and make the difference. Gonna run across loudly. He's gonna go for it. He's gonna go through the window and he's gonna look for those kills. This is good. This is incredibly good. If you're NoLove, you want this op to go away, and Pilot will lose his life, and Hard Fluff will keep his. Very, very important kill to eliminate from Bloomi Esports.
That was absolutely huge because they cannot reinvest in an op, which Pilot has been dominating with. So now you have no op. You're going to have low utility. The buy is super scrappy because they only live with 2. Bloomi is in a very tough spot right now. NoLove is not affected by that loss whatsoever. They still get a full buy. You still have an op, an AUG, M4s, AK. They're good to go. But Bloomi is struggling right now with a Galil and low utility. They got to come up with something fast.
Yeah, they're going up cat quickly. Dwizzy going to make a couple of shots through the smoke. The AUG's not really there. Nat gets one of his own. Trying to look for another. Trying to stay alive. 7 HP. Can't quite connect. It's a 2v3. They have got B site completely open. 1 at connector. 2 at connector, excuse me, are going to rotate together towards that catwalk. And there's going to be 2 in waiting. Boosting on top of that tall box. Hard Fluff gets the call. And they start to fall off together. The flash is key. They're turned away from it, but the flash is not going to be close enough. Ooh, a great molly going to delay them even further. Pat going to burn a life and catch some AK bullets. And Fluff, 21 HP, AK in hand, will lose his life. 15-10. So a good, you said scrappy buy. That's a scrappy win from Bloomi. Going straight up catwalk, risking all the marbles, and showing some dominance there to stay alive. Right up to Cat, where Nat can be incredibly effective. Bears boys with that AUG. The AUG is always a game changer when it hands at Bears. And he got 2 very big kills. Nat gets one of his own. Looking for a second. That Molly's going to burn him alive, though. It's a 3v2. Op on a retake's always a little bit difficult. Does he probably really wish he had the M4 instead? But it's not going to matter. Cat's just gonna run through the smoke and make all the difference.
Small note there on Nat picking up the kill to Cat. He dropped the bomb. That gave the rotators just that much more time to get in to the site, establish themselves, run through that smoke, and pick up those last 2 kills.
Beautiful.
Overall, very good game from both teams. I was impressed with Bloomi's T side after, NoLove started to capture some momentum and really started to implement their own game plan. They had the economy. Bloomi came out and said, you know what? Let me show you what we can do. They started with a tempo change up Cat and they let it roll a little bit from there. Actually, really solid week 1 matchup for the start of this 36th season of the ESEA.